You know it's hard out here for a pimp when he tryna get his money for the rent, for the Cadillacs and gas money spent. Will cause a whole lot of bitches jumping shit. You know it's hard out here for a pimp when he tryna get his money for the rent, for the Cadillacs and gas money spent. Will have a whole lot of bitches jumping shit.
In my eyes, I done seen some crazy things in the streets. Got a couple hoes working on the chain just for me. But I gotta keep my game tight like Kobe on game. Not like taking from a hoe, don't know no better. I know that ain't right. Done seen people killed, done seen people deal, done seen people live in poverty with no meals. It's fucked up where I live, but this is how it is. It might be new to you, but it's been like this for years. It's blood, sweat, and tears when it come down to this shit. I'm trying to get rich before I leave about this bitch. I'm trying to have things, but it's hard for a pimp. But I'm praying and I'm hoping to God I don't slip.
You know it's hard out here for a pimp.
Peace, y'all. What's up? What's up? Karmic Dynasty platform, Karmic Dynasty audience, and streaming over to them platforms on YouTube, Tribe Up 777999, and also over to the guide himself, guidance of Karmic Dynasty audience, Seba, Khepra, Ptah. Welcome to his audiences as well. I am Joy Ishram in present-day Indianapolis, Indiana, here. Born and raised, y'all would some say. All right, this evening, this is my second video. I got 3 more to go, 3, 4 more to go. I don't know, check out. But right now it's dinner time over here in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. It's my dinner time today, this schedule I'm on. All right, now, yes, I am feeling better. I am healthy in my manners, and I'm here. I've been in my zone, studying, meditating, checking out some things, and came across some DYK for Terrence Howard. Did you know that, where's it at? I was like, what? I gotta come to the platform. Terrence Howard got what? Respect to this man. I'm telling y'all, respect to this man. He has what? 97 patents. Now, some of us, we used to that hustle and flow, Terrence Howard. It is real. Terrence Howard has, as reported by way of swinglegacy.com, 97 patents as a result of his extensive scientific research. 4 supersymmetrical systems, 97 patents, and a purported new method of flight. I've seen it. I've checked it out. I've seen it. The following innovations are the ones that Terrence Howard has applied for patents on. This section includes both patents and pending patent applications. So we're going to swing this open right quick, and we're going to look at this. Okay, I am not a robot. Goodness. Anyway. Also, as I mentioned, it's dinner time. So while this tab gets itself together, let's look at what we got on this dinner plate this evening. So I have my green beans and red peppers and my cheesy mashed potatoes. I made it myself. What you call it? Peeled the potatoes, all that stuff. My cornbread, I made my muffin little things, little, what you call it? Muffin cases. Cupcake paper. My macaroni, shells and cheese, my chicken tenders slices, fried chicken tenders. This is my dinner. And for my dessert, right now I'm drinking my chamomile and elderberry tea. You see that around there? That's that good with that honey pollen in it. Yeah, pollen. And for my dessert, I got my strawberries with grenadine flavored strawberry flavored grenadine, and my key lime syrup on my strawberries. This is gonna be good. Now, back to this subject at hand. Y'all can share y'all dinner. I'm curious what y'all eating over there. What y'all eating? Now, because my tab, this robot thing, I don't know. It's like they don't want me in here. Terrence Howard, you'll hear him in these videos. I'm gonna play a few clips from a few videos. I also know I need to add them to the description after the video is over, and I will do so. But you will hear him talking about referencing how the people gonna come after him and how they will do X, Y, Z because he is sharing all this great information. There's gonna be a short math class in here. And I am definitely curious to see everyone's responses. And I need y'all to go check out more of Terrence Howard on y'all's own. He has his own website. I'm going to share that information as well. I just was floored and awed continuously by this man and the way he's looked at. We look at him, we perceive him. I know the way I did. And I was like, wow, Terrence Howard coming in hot. He's coming in hot. So let's check him out some more. On now this video, this is Terrence Howard addressing the students at Oxford University. And this is on Oxford Union YouTube channel. So we're gonna look at a little bit of this, and I need y'all to pay attention, get your notes out. Terrence Howard, y'all thought we was some acting classes or acting reference or hot in the news. Terrence Howard did what? No scandals, no mishaps, no drama here, no TMZ around here on Terrence Howard. No, and y'all know I don't do celebrities, but in this case, Terrence Howard is a teacher. As I mentioned before, I've been in the process of addressing our teachers, the elders, Bobby Hemmett, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing over here on Karmic Dynasty, Dr. Delbert Blair. And no, I don't want our teachers of today to become an elder and gone before we address them. So I'm starting with our modern day teachers, and we addressing Terrence D. Howard. Let's roll, y'all. Let's roll.
So when I put my of Cleveland, Ohio, and he's really an angel. I'm Terrence Howard, and I'm so honored to have been invited here to speak at Oxford. Chris is so magnificent. He's been the kindest person, and he's really an angel for you guys because he can bring a ton of people here just with his kind words. How many of you are interested in acting? None. Great. Maybe a couple of y'all. So, you know, I didn't have any training as an actor, right? No? You know, I grew up in a real bad part of Cleveland, Ohio. Wore little girls' dresses for the first 2 years of my life because we didn't have any money for clothes for me. I managed to climb my way out of there by doing a fancy little thing called lying. You know, you guys do any of that? Back in 19.
Now, for copyright claim purposes, all that good stuff. This is from the YouTube channel. Y'all need to check out Oxford Union for the full video. I'm just going to play clips and give y'all an idea of what's going on in the world of Terrence Howard. Now, also, surprising to me, Terrence Howard hasn't had any acting, formal training in acting. Yeah, I was surprised. I'm shocked by this news. So we're going to hear more shocking information as Terrence Howard unfolds and goes into his theories. And it is not acting related for the most part. So y'all need to turn y'all hats around and get them on right, because the Terrence Howard you probably used to hearing about, you're not going to catch wind of that Terrence Howard today. All right, let's move forward.
1986, when I started working in this business, there was no thing called the internet. So when I put my first resume together, since I was trying to go and get jobs, I go knock at doors and go and do castings, and nobody would take me seriously because I didn't have an agent and I didn't have a resume. So I put together.
All right, hold on, y'all. I was getting the video straight, and looks like I put the video out. So I'm gonna bring this video back in. What's up, Cody? Hey, Cody, over there from my moderator, coming from his YouTube channel. Hey, Cody. Let me get this video back up. Here we go. Resumes. Y'all better get your resumes right.
And it got me into the door. And as time went on over the last 35 years, maybe a couple of y'all. So, you know, I didn't have any training as an actor, right? No? You know, I grew up in a real bad part of Cleveland, Ohio. Wore little girls' dresses for the first 2 years of my life because we didn't have any money for clothes for me. I managed to climb my way out of there by doing a fancy little thing called lying. You know, you guys do any of that? Back in 1986, when I started working in this business, there was no thing called the internet. So when I put my first resume together, since I was trying to go and get jobs, I go knock at doors and go and do castings, and nobody would take me seriously because I didn't have an agent and I didn't have a resume. So I put together a 3-page resume of all the projects that I wanted to do. And I put my name on them, starring in all these things. And that was my first resume. And it got me into the door. And as time went on over the last 35 years, I filled up that thing. So it's no more lies on my resume. It's all truth. But it wasn't lies then, it was what I was going to make happen. And that's what I want to say. Most of what you are trying to accomplish today or tomorrow is the same thing you were trying to accomplish 20 years ago.
Sounds like some of us better get to embellishing on them resumes. Get your lies straight. Get your lies straight. You see, it worked wonders. It got Terrence Howard in that door and further.
You're the same person that you were then. If you lose that little spark that kept you motivated, that little piece, like this is my vocation. I love acting half the time, but there's some downfalls of it. You know, a lot of actors end up with personality identity crisis and conflicts because you have so many characters you're playing. And if you really commit to the characters, you become like a piece of clothing. That monster lives in him. That's why we believed it. He had to tap into something very ugly in our human nature sometimes. And as an actor, sometimes I tap into beautiful things. But like with Lucius, and the character I play with Lucius, his life is filled with turmoil. So 90% of the day I'm walking around carrying his turmoil and also the turmoil from me and my own family. And then how do you have time to really bring yourself back to who you are? Because that's the most important thing. That's the thing that's going to bother you more than anything else. You will look at yourself one day and you won't know who you are because you don't remember who you were. You know, sometime along the way, or maybe at 13 or 14, we let go of the little person that kept us going. That little person that was always there. I got you, man. I'm here. I got you. Don't go in there. I ain't going in there. That person, when we get about 13 or 14, we get embarrassed of him. And we push him aside and we don't listen to him anymore. And he's always knocking. Hey, hey. And after so long of a time, maybe 10, 15 years, you don't even know him. You show up at your own door and you don't even know who you are.
Now, right quick, y'all, this remind me of that movie. They got a new one coming out right now, about the emotions and the girl becoming a teenager and her new emotions come in, to deal with how to deal with peer pressure and stuff, how some of us handle that. I can't even think of the name right now, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Let's roll on some more with Terrence Howard.
Your family doesn't know who you are. So it's important, no matter what you do, no matter what challenges you go through, you remember who you are. You may think you've been here for 20 years on this planet, but we know that energy, it is forever. It doesn't die. It continually recycles itself. So you know that you've been a trilobite 350 million years ago, or some part of it. Some parts of you were part of a pterodactyl. Every one of us have been a part of everything in this universe. So if we tap into those things in ourselves and remember those things in ourselves, we have that power. Now, my vocation has been an actor, and I've loved that. I've been able to take care of my family as an actor, but that's never been my passion. I was an actor because it was like Jesus walking on water for tips, because he could do it. That's what he did. It was a natural thing for him. I've always been an empath. I've always been emotionally connected to everything. But the thing that I was most spiritually connected to, that was my driving force, was physics. It was wondering how the universe really came to be. And I fell in love with this thing called the flower of life. You guys know Da Vinci? Do you know what he spent most of his life trying to figure out? Who in here knows the flower of life? Couple? I'm gonna get you something. Because I want you guys to know.
Should we hold it?
Huh?
Should we hold it? Okay.
No, I'm gonna hold it up. I want you guys to know about a 6,000-year-old secret. Called the flower of life. Now, do you know the flower of life? Have you guys ever seen this before? Now, you know this is one of the oldest symbols in human history, right?
Okay, my bad, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all what. Since Terrence Howard, I love you. Since I had went to share his video, I got scams with his virus starts dealing with this. Y'all know.
Found in the forbidden temples in China, sitting under the fufu dogs, and the foot on it, the flower of life, saying whoever controlled that flower of life controlled the universe. There were secrets in that flower of life that Da Vinci spent his whole life trying to uncover. There were secrets in that flower of life that Newton spent his whole life in secret trying to uncover. The same secrets that Pythagoras was desperately trying to uncover. But their problem was they kept seeing this in a two-dimensional space. They couldn't get it out of this two-dimensional frame. All of them wanted to do, they were trying to find a way to bring this flower to life, because what is inside of it? Well, apparently there were secrets inside of it. Shapes, they got the Khepra and all of those other things out of it. But they were misled by something I think called a straight line. You guys believe in straight lines? You believe there's straight lines in the universe? Well, let me hit you with something. All energy in the universe is expressed in what? It's in motion. If something is still, there's no energy. Kinetic, right? All motion is expressed in what? You look at galaxies, are they expressed in straight lines? Expressed in vortices. All vortices are expressed in what? Waves. All waves are curved. Show me a straight line in nature. You show me where the platonic solids come from. Where do they have their foundations in our universe? Are there any straight lines?
Okay, class, good question. Are there any straight lines in nature? As I'm listening to Terrence Howard a few days ago address the Oxford students, I was like, wow, this guy, and I'm mad that I took on that attitude, like, wow, he knows a lot. Dang, Terrence Howard, like, it's crazy how we get caught up in our minds and how we perceive the people, actors, celebrities, like they don't have an existence, a life outside of the movie screen. And according to more you'll hear from him, this is what he does. This is what he's about. I love his story about him figuring out bubbles and why they are in circular or patterns versus squares or triangles. He just has a lovely story, lovely story. So we're going to listen more to Terrence Howard right now himself, addressing the Oxford University. Go to YouTube, check out the full video. It's 52 minutes and 8 seconds. This is the Oxford Union YouTube channel. Check it out. Thank you.
If you look at anything, there are no straight lines. That's been the mistake. We've been looking at these straight lines, this Euclidean way of thinking, and missing the curvature of nature. So here we are, back with the curvature of nature. And you have all these little pieces. Now, this has always been an information system. So compare some of these points. Take a point here and say, well, what's the space in between all of these things? Now, they've said that all the in-between spaces, if this is the Earth and this is the moon right here, all this in-between space is filled with what? A void. There's nothing in the void. Well, I found that there is something in the void. The elementary fundamental particles that they've been searching for at the CERN collider, the Hadron Collider in CERN, I found that their energy signatures matched perfectly to some of the pieces that I was able to pull out of here. So I'm gonna bring some of those now. Do I have a minute? Am I good? Okay. Now, all of this was supposed to be on a projector for you guys. I don't have that. So what I do have is a bit of a Chanel bag, or an old Chanel bag, a box, as it were. And we're going to talk about a couple of items in here that are so hard to even express here. Afterwards, you're going to have to just take a look at these. My God, I won't have the time to do it. I couldn't show you, but I am going to show you. I didn't come here not to show you. Now, whether you guys are able to systems, and these systems is what I brought to Oxford because I would like for you guys to examine them, put them to test, because I bet you will find all the fundamental particles that they've been looking for in the unified theory of the universe. It's a big statement, but I've got a lot of stuff to back it up if given the opportunity to do so. But the flower of life has been opened, and when we get an opportunity, I'd love to show you some of these things. Can I go on?
Yep, you good?
Mm-hmm. I can't, without being able to show the pieces, it's a phone. Put it on the calculator and turn it to the side so you can get all the long numbers out of it. Things to be aerodynamic, our airplanes are no longer based on a two-dimensional Euclidean way of life, but our math is still based on a two-dimensional way. And I think in order for us to reach the future, we have to examine that. Do you guys know about loops in math? Do you believe in loops? Do you know the square root of 2? Do you think that's a loop? Do you believe that the square root of 2 is the square root of 2? Yes or no? Hands up, no? Hello? Oh, I want y'all to take out your phone for a minute then.
All right, heads up, heads up, heads up. Terrence Howard he want everybody to take your phones out because he wants you to go into your calculator. So right now, everybody get your calculator together if you want to join Terrence Howard in this activity. I suggest you do it something else. Now, you, of course, you're watching the video, we're not live, so you can rewind it, fast forward, and or you can go on over to the Oxford Union and watch the video at your own pace. It's the true source of this reference I'm sharing with you all today. But get your calculators out. That's what he wants us to do right now. I've taken part in this activity. I was like, and like kind of at this point, Terrence Howard was our teacher to me. He ain't even Hustle and Flow and Empire and all that stuff no more. I respect the man and his art and talent in the movie theater, but this right here, he had me going for about 2 days straight on my research and study. Let's do this activity. And then a little bit afterwards, he's going to be addressing the students. They have Q&A, and that goes into his own situation. Yeah, check him out.
We're going to do one thing. Everybody got a phone? Put it on the calculator and turn it to the side so you can get all the long numbers out of it. Okay? Now I want you to put in 2 and square root it. 2, hit the square root. You'll get 1.41421356237309.5 ... right? Now I want you guys to do me a favor. Cube it. It'll see right over there, it'll be x to the 3. Can y'all do it? Have you cubed it? It'll see 2.8284271 2174 6190. Now that makes sense. I want you guys to do me a favor. Divide it by 2. Get the number? Cube it again.
It's dinner time, y'all. Excuse me. All right. As he said, cube it again. I'm over here dealing with, again, some virus detected. I went into that one link looking for Terrence Howard patents because he got 97 patents. And I done got caught up over here. Now, I'm going to bring that video back up again. And we're going to work with this. The next video I'm going to reference, just so you know, is a sister. She's interviewing Terrence Howard. They have a relationship of a professional level. They go way back. You know what I mean? They have their link that ties them together. And but right now we're going to listen to him finish out this math problem. And I appreciate y'all for sticking around here with me. It's dinner time. What y'all eating? What y'all got on that plate? What y'all got on the plate?
By 2, cube it again, and I want you to do that until the end of your lives. And that number will still come up with 2.8284271 2174 6190. Any other number that you above 2 that you put in and you cube and you square, cube and square and divide by 2, by the 6th operation, it has moved into an exponential number that you can't even imagine. Any number below 2 that you do that same operation with, it will go into an exponentially small matter and number. This is what we call a loop. It is illogical, it doesn't make sense, and it does not make math make sense. So these are some things that I'm bringing to the fore and that I would like to question. I would like to audit the math, the world of mathematics, and I would like to audit how we view the Platonic solids, because I think the new wave conjugations will tell a better story of how our world works. And that's it.
All right, so I think I'm gonna leave that right there. In a world of, y'all know I love audits. Me and my tax background, and I audit everything for the most part. That's what Karmic Dynasty, busting up them lies. I audit the things of life. So far with Terrence Howard, I've detected no lies. 97 patents. Goodness, that's a work of art within itself. I'm going to now, let's go over here to Daphne Wynn, to her YouTube channel, and listen to some of her conversation with Terrence Howard.
Welcome to Straight Talk with Daphne Fini. I am so excited to give you another exclusive one-on-one interview with the one and only Terrence D. Howard. I didn't say the whole middle name.
I like it though.
You like it?
I like Deshaun.
Deshaun. I like Deshaun too.
Mama gave me Deshaun.
She did. That's awesome. Because you're special.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
I was on a little bus.
Not the short one, though.
I was on a short bus.
Not the short little
Yeah,
bus.
when I was in second grade, because I was saying, wow, that's the prettiest color blue I've ever heard. And the teacher was like, you can't, colors don't have. So I was like, yes, they do. It's like, no, they don't. And they ended up sending me to a remedial school for about a year. And I was just like, nah. The people that were there were so incredible, the kids, because they saw things differently.
Right, yeah.
But what it turned out is I had, everyone's born with synesthesia. And that's just the ability to have more than one stimuli can affect multiple receptors.
Right.
And so sound or color will have a sound, or shapes will have a taste, all of those things. And every child is born with it.
Right.
The problem is, the first thing a kid wants to do, he wants to put things in his mouth because he has an idea or an expectation of what that's supposed to taste like, and that informs him. But when we don't allow them to put things in their mouth, and we don't talk to them about the relationship between light and color, or sound and tone, and matter and shape, it dies as a result of atrophy. But everyone has that ability to where if they see a color, they like the color blue is like the key of G to me, or the color
key of G.
Yes.
What does the key of G sound like?
The key of G,
because I know you're musically inclined, so let me pull it out of you real quick.
It's like 192 hertz.
Wow.
Okay. That's at a low register.
Yeah. So I know that you have this passion for the insight and the revelation that you've been given about an array of things, from geometry to physics to science. But I want to backtrack really quickly because I know most people want to hear a couple of things about what you're doing with the wig while we're here. We're on set.
This ain't no wig.
In Atlanta. That's your hair. That's what your
hair
gave.
This Cadillac Richie's hair.
That's exactly what I was thinking, right?
Yeah, no, we're doing a film, and I thank you guys for coming here to set.
Thank you for having us.
Taking the time. It's me, it's Kevin Hart, Don Cheadle, Sam Jackson, myself, and a number of incredible actors. But we're doing a thing called Fight Night, and it's the night that Muhammad Ali fought Jerry Quarry, and there's a little robbery that takes place.
It's a little robbery?
Just a little.
Robbery.
Oh, I don't know.
Somebody with a wig on.
Bad people. Everybody got a wig on. Everybody got a wig on.
So what's your character's name in this movie?
It's Cadillac Richie.
Cadillac Richie.
Yeah.
Okay, Cadillac Richie.
Yeah, Cadillac like that.
How is this different from any of your other characters you played?
I think Cadillac is a bit of a sociopath.
Oh, wow.
I've only played a sociopath, I think, once in a movie called with Andre 3000, Idlewild. You see, I've watched you for a long time, Spence. And you taught me that when opportunity knocks, you said the smart man answers. See, that was some really good advice. That was the closest I got to a sociopath, But Cadillac is a little more fun.
Okay.
A little more fun.
What was that preparation like, preparing? Because I've heard you say a couple of things in other interviews, and I want to ask you about that because I did some acting and studying acting, and you said something I've never really heard a lot of actors say about the process of acting. And you said that sometimes when you walk off with your clothes.
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
Well, as an actor.
Okay, so you can watch that video to hear more about that response. I'm going to move forward in that video. But in the meantime, in both videos, there are references that Terrence Howard had referred to or cited. And I'm going to share that information now so you can look at it on your own, prepare for it in whatever manner. But just a heads up, he does reference the decimal system as a whole. And he mentioned Richard Dover Statter. Okay. Richard Dover Statter, the decimal system in time. And he mentioned some of his works. Right now, we are looking at the fact that he wrote a pamphlet in 1856 extolling the merits of a decimalized system of time. And in it, he explained the function of a decimal watch made by his brother Thomas Statter. And however, of course, this concept did not catch on widely. So the old watch world. So check that out. Definitely. In archive.org, you can see more of the publication. I will go ahead and share that now. The decimal system as a whole in its relation to time, measure, weight, capacity, and money in unison with each other. And this is the microform copy here. So you'll see this image here, the concept of time, etc. And this is in Internet Archive, archive.org. So you can check out the book here, and is for free in this capacity. All right, there's 27 pages, and I just wanted to share that reference with you all, as I've already looked at it and previewed myself. Also, I want to say, because I was looking into a few people and my tabs is kind of congested, but right, Robert Lanza, if y'all would check him out. He's an American medical doctor and scientist, currently head of Astellas Global Regenerative Medicine and chief scientific officer, etc. He's a pioneer in stem cell and cloning research and one of the most influential people in the world, according to Time magazine. And I know from what I remember about him, I think he did some work in his basement. Like he cloned the first, he did something about cloning. He cloned something in his basement. I don't be sounding like that, but he did, I think. Let's look into his Wikipedia and let's see what they got in here for him. Early life. Yeah, he altered the genetics of chickens in his basement. Right here. And came to the attention of Harvard Medical School researchers when he appeared at the university with his results. So he was then mentored over the next 10 years, and he attended the University of Pennsylvania, receiving his BA and MD degrees, and et cetera, et cetera. So definitely check him out and more about his stem cell research. And here is a picture of him. He was interviewed in 2007 by Barbara Walters. Check that out as well. Also, Walter Russell. Terrence Howard, in his videos, he definitely spoke on the periodic table, the periodic chart, and looking into some elements. So that's a big part of the Terrence Howard presentation. And he referenced Walter Russell. Russell copyrighted a spiral-shaped periodic chart of the elements in 1926. And his cosmogony was described in a new concept of the universe, where he wrote that the cardinal error of science was, where we at? Hold on. I could control F right now. Here it goes. Was shutting. Hold on. Okay, let's start over. Where he wrote the cardinal error of science was shutting the creator out of his creation. Okay, so go check out the Russell cosmogony. This is Walter Russell, and he is a reference in the Terrence Howard videos as well. Did I not share it? Okay, hold on. I didn't share it. Y'all looking at a screen. It was down here. Here it goes. The cardinal error of science was shutting the creator out of his creation. Okay, y'all go check that out as a reference. And again, this is Terrence Howard being the teacher. And he was addressing the students of Oxford University. He also talked about polarized. So y'all go ahead and check that out too. Scrolling through my tabs to get this information to you all. And I know I spoke on Terrence Howard's website, and he has his, I'm going to go to that now. We're going to look at that. I'm linchpins. Terrence Howard, we're going to go over here and look at this. Has this linchpins mentioned on his website and in his works. So y'all go ahead and check that out. That is not what we was talking about. There's different forms of linchpin. It's the here, it refers to the most important member of a group or part of system that holds together the other members or parts. So then this is his website. Yeah, this is Terrence Howard's website. It is www.terrys Lynch LYNCHPINS.com. And here is also referenced the linchpin name trademark. Name and geometry are trademarks of one squared, and you'll hear more about one squared when you're in his website. So again, this is the website for Terrence Howard, and go check that out. I promise it's important. Y'all need to be checking that out, looking into that. He has, let's read some of his site. Hindsight, we rise to the unprecedented vantage point on the shoulders of the giants who came before us. Here you will find an aggregate of useful text and materials that have helped light the way forward on our journey to the present and the revelation that is the linchpin. And more from this website of his. 1 × 1 = 2 by Terrence Howard. I know recently I've come across this math information myself on things like how 1 + 1 is 3. And I teach that to my grandchildren. A few of my children are aware of it, and I definitely bring it to the platform and teach it as well. I'm not going to go into that right now, theory and how that works, but I've heard from Terrence Howard, and when you listen to the Oxford presentation, you'll hear him go into more detail about how 1 × 1 is 2. Definitely, I know it's near the end of the video also because, and I'm going to share that clip. Near the end of that video, a student questioned him, and then she made reference to her laptop as like, if 1 times this laptop times 1 is not 2, and some other stuff was going on. I was like, girl, if you don't sit back and leave Terrence Howard alone, he is the teacher. He is the teacher. Quit messing with him. All right. Where are we at? And so 1 × 1 = 2 by Terrence Howard. This is a book. He has a book. It is free. It's on his website. So he ain't out here trying to be in y'all pockets in manners. You know, the book is free on the website. This is a book about the illusion of matter and the indestructible scaffolding upon which it rests. It serves as an introduction to a new paradigm and a new age of understanding. Every wave is dependent upon your existence and your particular crest and trough, your spin, your charge, as you are likewise held together by every other wave that is. You are necessary in order for all things to be, and everything else is necessary in order for you to be. We are all one. Now, moving forward down here, Living Energies by Victor Schauberger. This compelling text is the first in-depth examination of the life and work of the brilliant forester, scientist, and pioneering inventor Victor Schauberger. Schauberger's insights into nature pivoted on the essential characteristics of water as a living and pulsating substance that energizes all of life, both organic and inorganic. Also, right quick, speaking of copyrights, patents, and things, before we go into Kelly's Law of Being, Terrence Howard also speaks a few times about someone who had a message that he brought forward, and he didn't patent. I think he said he didn't patent his work or copyright one, and he didn't patent it. And so the man ended up, as a result, seeing people come forward with his work and receiving credit in the Nobel Prize realm. So Terrence Howard has spoken on how it took him time to get his patents one by one over a few years. And furthermore, like how he still does his acting roles to help bring forward more patents and more works and get these realities out here, because 1 × 1 = 2. So you got some work, get it together, patent it, get your copyrights, trademarks, all those good things. Like me, myself, I have a few things I'm bringing forward, but I must complete my foundation and my security around my products before I bring them forward to the platform. Definitely looking forward to y'all seeing them, checking them out, and I get y'all response. Moving forward here, and on Terrence Howard's website, Kelly's Law of Being, we're going to read this a little bit, or in its entirety. If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, then you would have a key to the universe. Tesla. What did Tesla consider as magnificent about these 3 numbers? These 3 numbers represent unseen dynamics and are the very essence of the nature, structure, and dynamics of complex periodic motions. This work describes these 3 unseen scalar aliquot components. Components of vibration, oscillation, vortices, and toroids, or any periodic motion, as also their relationships and dynamical functions. Now, I've spoken a lot. Let's go to the knowledge base. This is Terrence Howard here, and working on one of his concepts products. He also speaks about gravity, just an effect and not a cause, the rebuilding of Saturn in absence of gravity coming together. Videos here you can watch from his website about linchpin bonding and other things, magnetic field, transcendental lighting, etc., etc. Patent files, okay, and image galleries. I saw one of Terrence Howard's projections. It was flying. So that definitely was great to see. And I know on part of his website, he is looking for people who have backgrounds in these works to help, build other structures and things. So definitely, you got a background in science or aerodynamics, etc. There's so many things. Go to this website and check out what opportunities are available to work with Terrence Howard and the advancement of our people, where we're at in this world. All right. And again, these are some visuals from his website. Very interesting, very thorough, and dynamic website he has here. So much to see from this brilliant man. Terrence Howard is more than hustle and flow. That's all I need y'all to know. I promise. Terrence Howard is more than hustle and flow. I am about to share this video again. The end of it, we're at the 45-minute mark, 28 seconds in this video. So if you're going to be scrolling ahead in it after watching this video, this is where this is starting. This video is at the 45-minute, 28-second mark, and this is Oxford Union's YouTube channel, and this is Terrence Howard.
Explain the death of the Platonic solids, but also introduce the new Terrian wave conjugations that replace this Euclidean way of life and gives us a three-dimensional way of seeing the world. That's what I'm saying. Do you want to see the world in 2D or do you want to see it in 3D?
Thank you.
Because our math right now is 2D. Our math is black and white and stick figures. I want the world in multicolor spectral vision. That's it? I can go home?
I think we have time for one more.
Who speaks up first? This dude, his energy is there. Go. Strong energy too, man, but.
Y'all check this out.
You said that $1 times $1 is $2?
Huh?
You said that, say, a pound times a pound is 2 pounds?
A pound times a pound should be 2 pounds.
Yeah.
If
But
action times
when
action,
you multiply those two things together, you get a pound squared.
a pound squared, yeah.
Like the unit gets squared as well.
1 squared. Say that again. Will you use the mic? So I can hear you.
So you're saying 1 pound times 1 pound is equal to 2 pounds, but it's 1 pound squared, which doesn't make any sense because you've got a
1
squared
pound,
unit.
One
Squared. 1 pound squared.
You can't. Can you divide pounds? Can you divide money? If you can divide it, you can multiply it. What, a pound times a pound? What, a pound squared? 2 pounds? That 2 pound, 1 squared. Well, you know, it's funny. I actually patented 1 squared. All these things that I showed you guys, I've patented all these things. You know why I patented them? Because in 1926, a man named Walter Russell wrote a book called The Universal One, and in it he introduced an entirely new periodic table. And there he introduced the 2 heavy water elements, and then plutonium and deuterium. Both of those, all 4 of those elements that had never been discovered, he sent out to 800 different universities in his book. I don't know why I said that. Did I?
I think they're thinking that the entire money system's off, or we're just thinking the decimal system.
Yeah, it's the decimal system that's off. The money is there's nothing wrong with the money, but how we deal with the money. But if you can divide money, you can multiply it. It works hand in hand. Okay, or you can't see that. You can't see dividing
Well,
money.
it's a matter of definition. If you define, it's a matter of definition. A pound squared is not a unit defined.
A pound squared.
If you multiply by mathematical convention, if you multiply 1 pound by 1 pound, same as if you multiply 1 meter by 1 meter, it should be 1 pound squared or 1 square meter.
It becomes 2. Why does it become 1 pound squared is 2, isn't it? Now, if you look.
All right quick, before Terrence Howard breaks this down into smaller numbers for somebody, he also, where is it at? I just had it. He talks about the scripture in the video with the sister. he discussed with her this Bible verse from Jeremiah, Isaiah in the King James Version. However, how the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Y'all keep that as a reference when y'all watching Terrence Howard.
Said about the associative and the commutative laws. It says A is to be added to itself as many times as its units in B. And the only thing that prevents that is the identity element that sits up and says, no, the Jim Crow law sits. Black people sit in the back of the bus because that's what the law says, without even having a foundation for it. 1 times 1, one times any number is that number without a foundation, with no principle. It just says it.
But if you go by your logic and you say 1 times 1 is 2, 1 times 2 is 3, and then how would you define 2 times 4? Is that's just...
That stays, all that remains the same. Anything with 1, just add 1. The first rule of
okay, then where's the difference between addition and multiplication?
Well, multiplication is what? Exaggerated addition, isn't it?
But isn't it a matter of mathematical convention?
What is?
If it was defined in the beginning, it could have been defined differently, but logical, it makes the most sense.
Mic, darling.
Sorry. Is it a matter of mathematical convention? If you define beforehand that something, like, logically, it makes the most sense that 1 times 1, if you have 1 laptop, 1 times a laptop is 1 laptop, that makes more sense than you say it's 2 laptops.
Well, now if you say,
and then that's where the mathematical convention comes in, and that's like most large part of math is convention. It's how it has been defined. It's a matter of definition.
And it's wonderful. The convention is right if the material and the information being shared in the convention is true. But when you're talking about dogma being added in with that thing that I showed you, did you look at the square root of 2? Do you think that that's a loop? That's a natural thing with the square root of 2? Did you believe that?
It's the same with pi. There's like not a mathematical.
No, it's not the same though. It's not the same with pi. What we just did, we multiplied it, we cubed the number, and then we divided it by 2, and we cubed it again and divided it by 2, and we did that a number of times, and that number still remained the same exact number, which we know cannot happen. It's right there. And that's what they say is the difference between, that's what they say allows 1 times 1 to equal 1, because 1, 1.414213562373095 ... is the square root of 2. But we know that that's not the case because it's illogical. That loop makes it invalid.
I'm afraid that is all we have time for. So
I'm over here like standing O. Terrence Howard is great. This measure of information is wonderful. Here is more of Terrence Howard here. Website tcotlc.com. And it goes on about Terrence Howard, 1 times 1 equals 2. Truth is the truth. This is the light. This is the way, TLC. 1 times 1 equals 2, the flower of life, etc., etc. And if you want to see more about the periodic vortex, the link is over here. Relative factoring, shine through it, and events. Now, right fast, this is a video, is on YouTube, and it's in reference to Terrence Howard proving gravity is an effect, not a cause. So y'all can check that out too.
Oh, you're
Just
good.
a little bit right now.
No, you'll get it. You'll get it.
Just a little bit.
Let me share the screen here.
Video's going.
And explain.
Let me move.
Fields from iron cores, etc. Going.
I just want to
over.
see some
Like,
imagery.
That's all
So,
kind of equal.
I know I like
Do a
imagery.
save just in case to make sure I don't lose that.
I don't see anything moving. I want to see,
This
I
is
guess,
the
motion.
settings for the particle.
Energy and
And this
motion.
represents a magnetic
Imagery
field.
and motion. So I'm gonna move on down forward here on the page. Okay, more of the linchpin technology illustrations is what we're looking at here. Let's see what's in here. Oh shit. Music is a sound frequency. Okay, yeah, I definitely need to come back and watch this video. Imagery and motion. This is my life right here. Let's go, y'all. All right. Down here, you'll see at the bottom, this is the Terrence Howard 1 × 1 = 2. More of this on his website. Again, this website is tcotlc.com. Again, he spoke of Victor Schauberger on the one site, and this is the Austrian fellow here. And you can check out more about him and his life and etc. That's on Wikipedia. He also mentioned the first perpetual motor, Terrence Howard did. And Walter Russell, The Universal One, that is a book work that was referenced as well. So y'all definitely check that out. Check that out. And I'm clearing up my notes, my tabs. I think I had allowed like 2 hours for this video. And because my next video starts in like an hour. I don't know if we'll need another hour because a lot of this is definitely self-led study. I cannot study for you. I don't know your interest to be able to do so. I have my own. But Terrence Howard, definitely a teacher in my book and respected in his time. A New Concept of the Universe is a brief treatise by Walter Russell that introduces a new cosmogony. It presents a complete and consistent concept of light, matter, energy, electricity, and magnetism, allowing scientists to visualize the universe as a whole and opening the door to a new age of transmutation. Go check that out. And right now, other than that, that is what I have to share, except for another clip from the sister who was interviewing Terrence. Excuse me, y'all. And we're gonna look more into her question.
Was intended, but the reason I wanted you to clarify is because even when we've talked off screen, you've referenced, even with your book you're writing, we're going to talk about that. You mentioned scriptures like Daniel when you were showing me the other Daniel. Yeah. So when you reference those scriptures, you're not saying that they're infallible.
No.
You're just saying that there are other things outside that we need to consider.
These are historical references within it. Like Jesus said, we were all made in God's image, right? So when you look in the mirror, do you see God? And when God looks in the mirror, does God see you?
Right.
That's the question. At what point? And somebody told us we were born in sin. We were all of that. And that, the desire to mate is a sinful thing. When a man is born with, in 1970, a healthy male produced 1,500 sperm per heartbeat. That is a motivating factor towards getting out there and proliferating. No,
in a minute.
But one of the things that's interesting, we are 98.7% identical to simians or to chimpanzees or to apes.
What's that percentage again?
98.7%. Identical genetically, and we're only 1.3%. There's only 1.3% differentiation between us and the simians. But how do they live? They live in a harem because of producing 1,500 sperm per heartbeat, so that and the women, the females, recognize that that's what's. So how is it that, as if we're 98.7% identical,
Mhm.
to them? Why are we attempting to live completely isolated and not following those same rules of nature? Why are we trying to do the 1.3%?
That's a serious question.
Yes.
And as a female, we've had so many issues with that because it sounds like polygamy. And
Sounds like nature.
it sounds like nature.
98.7%.
Polygamous. So my question to that would be, and this is something I've posed to other people who are of that same thought, which is if it is in fact how we should be cohabitating, then how do we explain STDs when you're with multiple partners? How do we reconcile that happening? You understand what I'm saying?
It's within what takes, like, does the simians, does the chimpanzees walk around with STDs? No, because they do not allow the females to go and cohabitate with other males outside of it. Stays within this community. Now, the difference between us, we are not in a position to carry out the natural order of things because we are not self-sufficient.
Right.
We're not working within our own environment. So we have to ascribe to a different way of life. Like me, yeah, I have my one, and I don't have a desire to be with anyone else because this is not the environment in which you can do that. But if it was great, if I had the environment that facilitated the natural course, I would love to have a few other individuals helping with raising the family, but at 55, my appetite is
that's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work. Some of y'all men, y'all know what y'all be asking for. Y'all can't keep up with one woman. They trying to manage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us. Good dear, cut it out. All right. This is my piece. It's been a pleasure, an honor. Definitely all respect for Terrence Howard and his works. I cannot imagine what it takes to be him and bring forth for all of us in our advantage what he does, and going with the scripts and taking on the roles and the responsibilities that he puts in to the acting roles that he pursues. So it's this all kind of deep respect in here for Terrence Howard. I will continue to hold him high as a teacher, and I will continue to study and look more into the benefits of the gifts that he has brought here to us all. I am leaving here, and I'm glad you all have been here with me. Thank you for joining me over here at Karmic Dynasty.